Friends and leaders, gather around. Welcome back to SaiyanMonk channel. This is SaiyanMonk Live. We're going live. We're here. Got the incense lit. Got my morning coffee. Got my morning water. We're ready to go. Today, working on getting my liquids in. Went out and meditated, got grounded today. Fresh air, breathing in some fresh air. Just having a good time, guys. And getting into that state of flow. So it's so important. You control most of your day with how you start your mornings and how you end your nights, depending on what you're doing, what your lifestyle is like. Maybe night and day can be different for you and just what your lifestyle is like. So it's one of the things I've been coming into learning about this year and into last year, or a little bit into last year, and just how it really is controlled from how you start your day and how you end your day. It's so important to get into some sort of a routine or have some sort of a routine and see how things go and flow. But damn alarm. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, wanted to go live. Never gone live before, and I wanted to give this a shot, just see how things go. Got cleaned up, got a fresh cut. Hard part, I love doing the fades. It's just a look that fits for me, and yeah. So I think today, for me, what I got in store is that I'm gonna probably be just taking care of myself and just making sure that everything's good to go for today. Probably gonna get some cleaning done, really get into that flow state, and take care of some other errands that I gotta go do today. So that's just kind of what my day is, but I wanted to go live and just check in with you guys, see how things are going. Never done the live before. If you guys want to try and comment down below and let me know what you guys think of the video, I'll try and read back through them as I do a playback or whatever, or read them as they're coming up, and I'll try and answer some questions if it's not too overwhelming in the chat box area. So anyway, yeah, so I got a lot going on right now, and this is probably going to be my last video for a while. I'm not leaving YouTube. I will be back. It's probably just going to be a little bit before I actually come back. So unless if I have some short last minute videos, then I might put them out there going into next month. So we'll see how things go. But yeah, I've really been loving filming myself and just getting talks out and doing projects and talking about subjects that a lot of people have a hard time understanding, and just really trying to get into the comfortability of, if I'm saying that right, just being more comfortable just projecting myself and speaking what I'm thinking about and these ideas that I have and putting them on camera. And I really like that concept of just filming myself and just kind of getting what I have to say out there into the world. And in a manner of speaking, this is kind of public speaking. YouTube is kind of a form of public speaking if you guys think about it. Sure, you're just probably just doing a recording and then uploading it to YouTube, but you're pretty much stating to the world and saying what and who you are. You know, and then people can go live, like a lot of the major podcasts, like for example Joe Rogan. Whenever he does his podcasts, I'm noticing now that they go on YouTube and he goes live, so that way people can start seeing the stream as soon as it comes up, and people can have access to it and just watch it on the World Wide Web. I don't know how he used to do it when he did his podcasts, if he's always done it on YouTube. I'm assuming maybe he didn't do it on YouTube all the time. Maybe he did just recordings and had his talks in his studio before he thought, oh, maybe I should load these on YouTube so that way people can actually see it, and oh, hey, I'll just do a channel and all this and that. I don't know, maybe everything fell into place for him. I don't know. But that is a good strategy and a good way to just kind of get yourself noticed, to kind of get a following, things of that nature. And he's already a big name guy. I mean, he's been doing, he was a Fear Factor host for the longest time. He's always been a spectator in UFC, MMA. He trains in fighting. he's just a great dude all around, and he's been very popular all around. So, but it's just kind of interesting just to see how his life and just how everything kind of fell into place. And before all of that happened, he was a stand-up comedian, and he started to kind of get some notoriety and just did a lot of comedy shows and such. So I just thought that was interesting. But, and now look at where he's at now. He's doing these really informed podcasts, which I think are great. I like his podcasts. I don't listen to too many of them, but I listen to a lot of the selected information that I'm looking into, and it really gives me more information about what I'm looking into and the people that he interviews and how he talks to them and stuff. And one of the things that Jordan Peterson said about him was that he goes looking. He has kind of like an unbiased opinion about people, and he likes to ask questions and really seek and search out what he's looking for and what his questions are and the subjects that he wants to talk about. So I think that that's very interesting. I think that's very cool. And I think that he's just all around a really good dude. So, and, I think it's just so interesting that things like with him, I think that we try to get it censored too much. It is censored too much, and one of the things that I thought that was interesting when I was listening to Jordan Peterson yesterday at work was that he talked about how overprotecting your child or children as parents is a bad thing, because what's going to happen eventually, metaphorically speaking, is the snakes are going to get into the garden eventually. There's always going to be those snakes that get into the garden, and what you have to teach your kids is how to kill the snakes, to chop them up and make them into the world. So there's this wide metaphor, and I think he's referencing it to the story of Marduk, about the great dragon. The story of the great dragon, I think it was Marduk and Tiamat, this old story where they fought. And I'm kind of getting things twisted around, but because I don't remember who or what the dragon's name was, but between Marduk and Tiamat, one of them was fighting the other, one of them killed them, and it was the dragon that died, and then the dragon was made into the world from this mythological beginning and historical telling of this story. And so with that, I think that as we absorb information and we really take in inventory and we try to think about what we're trying to make out of the world and what we're trying to make as a reality and manifest into the world about who we are in the world, that is what that metaphor is that it gets painted beautifully into the fact that, okay, we were able to chop apart life, and now we're able to make it into what we can make it. And we try to do the best that we can to make it the best life and to make ourselves better than who we are or what we are presently. That's why I'm so big on, self-improvement and really trying to go deeper, trying to improve skills as much as I can, or to become better than what I am the day before, or to become better than who I was yesterday. As Jordan Peterson says in one of his books, I think, and he's also stated that many times in his talks, become better who you were than you were yesterday, or to become better than I was last year, things to improve on, to always be constantly striving. And even if you fall down, it's important to still get back up, because if I fail and I don't get up, do you think I'm ever going to get up? No. And I think Nick Vitagucci, I cannot pronounce that guy's name, but he had a really good video about, no arms, no legs, no worries. So, or yeah, YouTube sensation too. And he's a speaker and a talker. So, that guy's got a powerful just life testimony and a huge testimony. If you guys are believers, or if you guys are spiritual at all, highly recommend him. Check him out. You guys might know who I'm talking about. Leave a comment down below if you guys know who I'm talking about. And so So we make the world out of what we see in our present reality and who we are becoming and what we are becoming or what we're trying to turn ourselves into. And we all have a part to play in this world. We all don't play the same part. We all have to play a certain role in this hierarchy of sorts. And I like how Jordan Peterson explained that there was a dominance hierarchy, because there has to be things that are unfair for things to be equal. There has to be a group of people or a group of individuals that are going to be at the top of the dominance hierarchy that are going to help lead the rest of the culture or the rest of society into the next big thing or to the next improvement. While everybody else here at working from the bottom or up the ladder, they have to do their best to figure out what's going on in their lives, to manifest what's going to happen into their life and lifestyle. They have to figure out what's going to make life work for them, so that way they don't have to stay stagnant and where they're at. That way they can grow and improve on what they're trying to make themselves into. So I think it's just so important to know the differences between who's in that ladder of the hierarchy. So, and that's why I like listening to Jordan Peterson, because he is very dense, and it does take me a little bit to really get through what he's talking about, but I love what he's talking about, because he's trying to come to terms to make sure that no one's, radically right, radically left. They're not just stuck in their heads or getting stuck on identity politics, social justice warriors, whatever. This whole transgender debate and all of that. He wants people to come to a middle. He wants people to come to an equal medium, I think. And he does a very good job of just explaining how things are and what things could be, or how things should be, or what they could become if we did everything right. So I just like that he tries to find the middle ground. And I think that's so important. So that way we're not completely turned against each other, because he also stated that in something that I was listening to too, was that, it just seems like that we're all kind of just getting turned against each other. And I don't want that for my life and the world. I don't want people to be turned against each other, trying to kill each other over a bunch of nonsense. I want people to live in a sort of harmony, to where they love each other unconditionally, and they can meet and come to an agreement, or just figure whatever they're trying to figure out in life, because life is very complex, and yet life is very beautiful. But there's a lot of answers that we're looking for that we never really find in life. And so I think if we can come together instead of separating each other, we would be able to find a lot more answers in what we're looking for on our own and in our own heads. So 2 brains are better than 1. He also said that. So this will be one of my last videos, if I haven't said that already. I'm very busy right now. I'm not leaving YouTube. I will be back. So I will be back. I just have to kind of take some inventory and make some plans, getting some things together, getting an act together. I have tons of video ideas that I'm going to be doing. I kind of got to get them squared out and squared away. I'm also busy with just some other things that are going on right now. But if I have some quick ideas, I might put them on next month as just some quick short videos. Trying to watch my time, so I tend to extend my videos a lot, but it's just because I have a lot to say. At the same time, I would like to try and condense it down more. That way I can make shorter videos and get them out quicker, versus just making almost a 15-minute video like what we're going on our time right now, and just being detailed and then getting to my point at the last minute. So maybe that would help my views out a little bit. Maybe my viewers, you guys, whatever you would think would work too. I'm open for some ideas. Leave me comment down below. So Yeah, I'm starting off my morning right. It's a little bit more into the later morning now, but the sun's out. It was a whopping 56 degrees out this morning, and I went outside and I meditated. So, yeah, the Pacific Northwest is getting cold. Some of the people I follow that live in like Chicago, Ohio, Middle West, or Midwest, they haven't hit any cold spots yet, but it's starting out at 50 degrees, and soon it'll be like 35 to 40 degrees as fall starts to come in and then winter starts to come in too. But right now, it's still warm enough for me to go outside. Really been practicing mind over matter. The Wim Hof method really helps out a lot. I know I've talked about that a few different times in my videos and on my channel. And man, I just love that method. He really teaches you, Wim Hof is a great man. He really teaches you how to go in. His discovering philosophy was that people should be happy, strong, and healthy. And that's what I want for everybody too at the same time. You know, that is love. That is love, and its almost truest and purest form is when we can get to that level, you know. And that's his message. That's his purpose. He is definitely a one interesting, intense man that came into this world and made a huge discovery. He's got all the science to back it up now too. And after being a believer and practicer for like the last 20 years and taking so much ridicule, he says that it was worth it. He said that it was worth every setback. Naysayers, just everything that had happened to him. So, but if you don't know who that guy is, look him up. Wim Hof. One of the best documentaries is the Vice documentary. If you just Google Vice Wim Hof, you should be able to find the video. It's one of the best documentaries about him. And he actually trains the interviewers to go into a situation where it's environmentally cold and to put their bodies and their minds to the test to experience the Wim Hof method at its full potential and what it can do for the human body and for the human mind. And so it's just, you know, anybody can do it. And that's why I like his method, is that anybody can learn how to do it as long as you're getting the breathing down. I think what really did it for me was getting the breathing down. And then I actually went to a workshop over in Oregon. And they were able to give me some more guidance and some little tips and tricks and tweaks on my technique to help me become a little bit more efficient at the Wim Hof method. And so really it's just the one main thing I got down is the breath. And that is where the power really comes from, is the breath. So if you can focus on the breath, if you can get the breath down, really work on extending that diaphragm and getting that diaphragm in shape and in motion, you'll be able to do the Wim Hof method no problem. There's probably like 3 to 5 different ways of breathing: in through your nose, out through your mouth, mouth only, then doing the push-ups exercises. I've done some videos on this, so I don't really have to explain that. But you know, and with that though, I mean, it's interesting just how he turned out as a man. You know, being that guy that was willing to who's faced death many times. I thought what was interesting was when his main story was what he went swimming in the Arctic Circle. He was swimming 50 yards in the cold under 3 meters of ice, and his vision went blank halfway through the swim, and he was still counting, and he swam like, I think, an extra 10 or 20 yards past the hole, and he realized that he'd missed the second hole that he was supposed to come out of. Tried to come back, and he started to fade, and then they had to pull him out. But with his breathing technique alone, he was able to get his retinas back, and he was able to, yeah, his retinas froze. So he was able to get his eyesight back. That guy's just crazy.